Hello again. It seems that my little 10-minute video is not enough and people actually want to see the chart for summer wells. So I'm just absolutely not going to say that I think so-and-so did it, blah, blah. I'm going to read the chart as is. This is the chart for 6:32, 15th of June. So the time that we heard the phone call being made. Now, as always, the ascendant, this area here, is summer. It is at 26 degrees of Scorpio. The moon is also summer because she's 5 years old, and the moon always shows us information about 5-year-olds and under. That's at 27 degrees of Leo, very close to this 26 degree number. Another number at 26 planet is Pluto at 26 degrees of Capricorn. Over here we have the DC, which is the perpetrator, 26 degrees of Taurus. And then we have the sun at 25 degrees of Gemini. So we've got a whole bunch of 26, 25, 27 degrees. Whenever I see repetitive degrees like this, I utilize that for distance, 2.7 miles. Now, I also utilize it for direction, but I'm not doing a map in this one because I'm not just going to show a map. I've put the link in the description from the other video so you can find that and you can look yourself. But these 26 degrees, now let's go back a little. Okay, so summer is represented by this. Now, what that's doing is making a square, so 90 degrees exactly, to the moon, which also represents summer. Now, the moon also represents our mother, so we need to use both in this instance. The square between summer, her mother, and the body of summer shows a connection between them, okay? So this chart's accurate, it's a good time to use. And mum, in terms of just psychologically, emotionally, all of the things that the moon represents, our emotions, our love, and showing this challenging aspect between where summer resides. So that is one actual thing that I need to say that is more beneficial than not beneficial, and that is that mum here is forming a harsh aspect to Summer's body. So that shows me that she may not know where she is. It doesn't mean that she doesn't know. She might know as well, because the connection is something. But I'm thinking that the connection is mother-daughter. She wants to know that she's challenged, which is the square. She doesn't know what to do. Okay, so that's that there. Now, Scorpio, being summer herself, represents a few different things. So if we're to take it as where she may be, there is all sorts of things that are represented by Scorpio. Now, I mentioned in my last video cemeteries. Cemeteries are represented by Scorpio. Okay, so it's important to know that. The fact that Pluto is here in the second house, and you can see here these red dotty lines, it's making a yod, or Pluto is the apex of a yod, a finger of God, and it's between the sun, represents the father. I don't mean Don Wells. The sun represents the father in all charts. So the sun is the father, the moon is summer and her mother. Pluto is not a great planet to be on that apex point. So I am a little concerned that I'm seeing this connection between these two pointing down to Pluto, all in such tight degrees, and then making aspects to Summer herself. Okay, so we have these red lines here. So we have a male, an older male, or the father involved, or a part of this yod, I should say. Summer or her mother here, and Pluto down here. Now, Pluto in the second house could indicate being taken for financial gain. Money is exchanged in some hands. So I'm not putting my opinions in this. This is just simply the chart. Money could have been exchanged between a male and a female. Now, this 26-degree Scorpio ascendant is ruled by Mars. And Mars is sitting in the 9th house of religion, higher learning, philosophies, all those higher types of things, but predominantly religion. Now, the fact that the ruler of Scorpio is Mars and is in the 9th house, and the moon, being Summer, is also in the 9th house of religion, this is indicating to me that religion is something to do with this, the church possibly. Now, is it possible that somebody that resides near a church or goes to a church or works in a church has actually done something or taken Summer? It's not impossible to say that that could be the case. Okay, so, and this also shows me that physically her body may, or her, and I don't mean deceased body, her physical presence may be near or in a church. So this is actually even more indicative of what I said before, of being possibly located near a cemetery or a church. So that's a big clue. Okay, the 7th house is the perpetrator. It's at 26 degrees of Taurus, and that is Algol, the fixed star. It's not a good position. To me, it's that somebody that does not have good intentions at all has taken her or has done something with her. Now, the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is sitting in the 8th house of death. So this is what's indicating to me that there's a female involved in this, somewhere along the line as well. 26 degrees of Taurus is very indicative of things like someone losing their head because they've gotten angry. There's a lot of anger. The fact that Mars is an important part shows this anger as well. So something's happened where there's been a quick angry moment, it seems. Now, I'd be remiss not to notice these planets in the 7th house as well of the perpetrator. We have Mercury, which can in Gemini as well, which can indicate two people, brothers, siblings, cousins, two people. That's right next door to that Sun, which is the older male. If I use this chart the way that I use all the others, this shows me that there's possibly 1, 2, 3, 4 people that know what happened to Summer. Now, I see these as being, like I said before, that the brothers could possibly offer information. Now, I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. I'm not saying anything like that. But I think that it's possible that maybe they saw something And maybe some type of hypnosis or something could, because those little boys would be shocked and scared. They wouldn't know what to think. So maybe talking to them in some manner, not interrogating, I used the wrong word before, talking to them in a gentle manner, and maybe some type of hypnosis, regression, something could bring out some information that they might know. To top that off, Mercury is retrograde. So that means going within the mind of those boys could definitely help unlock some truths to what's going on. They may have seen a person in a red truck. They may be confused, they might have blanked it out, but I think they may have some key information. I hope they do. Okay, the other area is down here. The end of the matter, the 4th house cusp. Pisces is there. And Jupiter is pretty closely conjunct. So that shows me that there's a big chance that she is near water. Now, Neptune is also in the 4th house, which is doubling up on the water thing. So she could be in or near water. She could have been taken by somebody and gone to a place where she's been swimming before, back to that area around there. So I would really hope that they would search any housing or any people, any types of sex offenders or anybody that lives near the swimming area that they were at earlier that day. Interestingly, Neptune is squaring the Sun very closely. So the male could have seen her at the swimming hole and then possibly followed her back home. Let's look at the next thing. At 6:32, did she walk away? Walking away is the 3rd house cusp. That is in Aquarius, and Saturn is located in the 3rd house as well. Saturn is the physical body. So we looked for an aspect to that, and then I noticed that Uranus is at 13 degrees, exactly the same as Saturn there, making a square. So if she in fact walked away from the home, which actually this indicates more to the point that she was walking towards the home, it is possible that a sudden, which is Uranus, sudden abduction, the 6th house as well, kidnapping, could occur to her physical body, to Summer, walking towards her home. Now, whether that means that she had time, I don't know if she had time from the flower garden to her home out of sight enough to be taken by somebody, but to me this shows me that she was walking towards home. Now, after all of this, worst case scenario, someone has taken her from her house, where would she be? She would be, unfortunately, quite far away at this point. That's this 9th house here as well. The 9th house is further away than the neighbourhood. Now, my intuition is telling me that, well, also because Saturn's here and that's the physical body, that's near the home, but this is away from the home. So whether this is actually that she was walking away and then has been taken far away, I would say that far away would have to be 27 miles maximum. I know 27 miles away is a big distance and a big radius to have to search. But I will say, just for future references, I think that would be the furthest that she would be away. But I would be looking around 2.6, 2.7 miles at churches. Anybody that works in a church, and that is an older male, somebody that's like over 40. And I will say that even though the sun represents the father is also somebody that's at a church too. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Okay, so 26 degrees of Scorpio, when we turn it into degrees and we look at the oracle of what things mean, 26 degrees of Scorpio means a man swimming in an angry sea. Now this is just symbology, okay? So let's take from it as we will. So that's this area here, a man swimming in an angry sea. Is this huge one? A wave line of nebulous light obscured by a cloud in the mist. Much of the obscurity into which this person will be at from time to time will be due to the unfledged condition of the mind, the misdirection through ignorance of the moral faculty. More to the point, it is a degree of wandering. That's interesting. It's very possible, looking at that symbology, she has wandered. 7 degrees of Pisces, the end of the matter, is this: a man with upraised arms submerged in the water over which a heavy rain is falling. Again, I'll let everybody determine what they think that is. I find it interesting that we've got a lot of indication of water. 26 degrees of Taurus, which is the perpetrator or the person that was doing the wrong thing at the time, which led her to disappear, is this: a fair woman leading a child by the hand and gathering flowers by the way. That's very interesting. The moon at 27 degrees of Leo represents a dagger. Saturn at 13 degrees of Aquarius is a broken bridge spanning a rapid stream. Okay, so they are the main areas that I'm going to read with those symbolic statements. As I said, think about however you will, but please apply that knowledge to anything that you can think of. And I'm going to leave it right there now. This shows you the entire chart. Please pause the video if you want to have a look at it and try and interpret it yourself. And again, the map is in the description of the prior video to this.